Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode fucking 10 of Spearhead Sundays podcast. Thank you very much for listening. If you are a new listener, welcome. We're up to episode 10. You're going to catch up, you lazy cunt. If you are an old listener and you've heard every single episode, what are you doing with your life? Surely you got better things to do. No, but this is a milestone, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Episode fucking 10. That means each podcast goes for about half an hour. That's about 300 minutes. That's about I don't know how many fucking hours that is. It's a lot, okay? I'm not a mathematician. I'm a stand-up comedian. What do you want me to be, fucking Einstein? Is that what you guys want from me? Was he even a mathematician, or was he just a scientist with a shit haircut? Anyways, so Spearhead Sunday, so we're up to episode 10, and I'm feeling pretty good about how the podcast is going. We're consistently staying in the top 50, even when I'm not uploading. So, like, for example, it's been a whole week since last episode. I'm recording this on Saturday, and we're in top 50. So by the time I upload this tomorrow, we should jump up to top 10 or something, which I'm pretty happy about, and that goes to you guys rating the podcast on iTunes. Fucking hint. Come on, guys. There's at least 2,000 people who listen to this every week, and there's 57 reviews. So what's going on here? I think some of you cunts are slacking off. But really, seriously, go. Last week, all of you guys just fucking put it on me. I really did try to edit in a little bit of my stand-up comedy recording from when I did a gig at the Windy Mile, and I don't know what went wrong, but it didn't go in. It was fucking, go and listen to it. I was so excited. I really led up to, I'm about to play some fucking stand-up footage, and it was a really good gig, and I was making people laugh, and then I went, and here it is, and then just fucking silence. And then I came back in like a dickhead going, ha ha ha, how funny, like, so embarrassing. I don't know why do you guys even listen to this? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to fucking edit audio. That's a simple chop that I should have been able to put in. I'm going to try and put it in now, okay? This is what it was. It was me making fun of what Elliot Loney was wearing last week. I'm going to try and put it in now. So there's going to be a little bit of silence, and then hopefully some stand-up footage will play. If it doesn't work, fuck it. I'm never ever editing in stand-up footage. So I'm going to give it a go. Here's me making fun of Elliot Loney at the Windy Mile. Yeah, see. Give a round of applause for Elliot and his chinos from 2009. I told you I was going to do it, mate. So yeah, maybe that worked, maybe it didn't, okay? I'm going to edit it in, but chances are it didn't fucking work. But if it did work, how funny was that? If it didn't work, fuck you, I quit editing the podcast. I'm going to pay I'll pay some 8-year-old kid from China to do it, who's working in a factory editing podcasts. I'm sure they've got it. China has a factory for everything. I'm sure they got that. You know, they got kids making, phones for Apple in secret and pretending like it's not slave labor. Surely there's some podcast editing factory up in China where some kid who doesn't even speak English somehow knows how to edit a podcast, even though he doesn't speak the language. He's just had it beaten into him. I'm sure that exists. There's a factory for everything in China. But yeah, so now that we've hit episode 10, this is a bit of a milestone. I've been thinking about how to move forward with the podcast, because I'm really liking the solo thing. I don't really want to turn it into an interview thing, and I can't be fucked getting a guest on every week to just talk about shit, because it's very hard for me to organize considering I do shows and make videos all the time. But I was thinking this. Let me know what you guys think of this. I was thinking on the first podcast of every month, I will have a guest on for the whole podcast, somebody that I find interesting, someone who's, whether they're a comedian or a rapper or, a drug addict that I found on the street, which really could be all three, really. You could be a rapper and a comedian and a drug addict on the street, because not many of those jobs pay well, and everyone doing it is it's on fucking drugs. But seriously, I was thinking of having, on the first podcast of every month, I will interview someone. Well, not even an interview. I don't like those interviews like, well, tell me a little bit about your childhood. Did your dad rape you? Like, I don't like them. Just a conversation. So like half an hour. They might be a bit longer because there's 2 people. I don't know how long they would go for. Probably about half an hour, 40 minutes. But yeah, the first Sunday of every month, have a guest that I find pretty interesting, because I think that's pretty doable. That's only 12 people a year. You know, I could stock up on them. I could when I go to Sydney, I can just interview everybody that I know in Sydney, and then I've got half a year worth of podcasts ready to drop. So let me know what you guys think of that idea, whether you like it or whether you don't, because right at the moment, I think it's a pretty cool idea, because I really do like the solo podcasts, but I think having other people on there would be a really cool thing to do. Because nobody's really doing that in Australia at the moment. The only way you can kind of get an interview is with a current affair, or the Age, or not the Age, the Herald Sun, and they'll just be like, introducing this extremely controversial celebrity. We're going to imply that they are successful, and then we're also going to directly say that they are a rapist. Because that's how we sell newspapers these days, because nobody fucking reads the newspaper. So I was thinking of having like a long-form conversation interview thing. I don't know. I just think it would be really cool to have people that I find interesting, and yeah, maybe they can help out with Miscellaneous bit at the end. Actually, if we did have guests on the podcast, we'd be running out of talent, because after Miscellaneous bit at the end, I reckon everybody would just fucking kill themselves. So yeah, let me know what you think of that idea. Monthly, once a month, have a guest that I find interesting and have a bit of a chat. What do you cunts think? What happened this week? I got home today. I walked into my room, and on my bed was there were this. Okay, so after Christmas, we had this big box of white chocolate coconut eclairs. I don't know, experimental shitty fucking food that they pretend is fancy. I looked at the box. I didn't even open it. It was in the plastic. I put it in a bag, and then I put it in the fucking bin in my room. I was like, I'm not eating that. Fuck African kids. I live in a place of privilege, and I can look at food. I can look at, you're a really rich, you live in a really rich fucking world when you can look at the packaging of a food and decide that it's not even worth you trying, and then you just fucking throw it in the bin. I imagine if some kid from Africa who's been starving ever since he was born saw me do that. Look at a box of food and go, it looks yucky. I'm gonna put it in the fucking bin. Not even give it to anyone else. Just put it in the fucking bin. He'd probably try and murder me, but that's what I did, and I've got no regrets. Fuck that kid from Africa. If you're listening. I don't think he's fucking listening. So I came home, and the box was just ripped up. It was all on my bed, ripped up. It was obvious that the dog, our fucking Albert the rescue dog with the big dick and social problems, has gone through my fucking bin, and he ate, it was like a box, like a proper chocolate box of chocolate, which dogs are not supposed to eat. So I freak out. I'm like, holy shit, how long ago did he eat these? What's going on? Is he still alive? So I go in, and he's in my mum's room, and I get him out. He's like, hey man, I'm a little bit nervous, but what's up? And then I bring him into the room to make sure that he was the one. And I brought him into the room. He was all happy to see me because I just got home. And as soon as I picked up the box, he's like, I am a bad dog. I did this and I'm sorry. And I was like, bro, you're going to fucking die. And then so I got him out. And he seemed fine, and I figured out, because it must have happened like yesterday, because I wasn't home yesterday, so he must have gotten over it or thrown it up. I don't know how he survived that. It was a huge box of chocolates. But then I kicked him out of the house and scolded him and kicked him out. And then I was like to Mum, oh, Albert ate all these chocolates. And she's like, oh, that's pretty bad. And I was like, yeah, that's a whole lot of chocolate. If he could have died. Mum was like, yeah. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. She'd be like, my mum. I think my mum wants the dog to die, and she's the fucking one who adopted him. She was the one who got scammed into. She likes all these Facebook pages to adopt a dog, which is a bad idea, because you look at homeless dogs all day that look incredibly cute on Facebook, and you're like, wow, that must be a perfect dog. And then she'd be looking at that for like 3 months, and we've already got 2 dogs, and one day she just came home with this thing that's got anxiety, social problems, and PTSD, and a massive dick. We call it Albert, and it just starts fucking up our life. but we can't fucking give him back. We're his third home. Obviously, nobody likes this dog, but I've put the foot down. We can't fucking put him up for adoption again. It'll just break his psychology. We've had him for a year, but yeah. So I think Mum doesn't give a fuck if this Albert dog lives or dies, which is great. I uploaded Loo Review on Thursday night. I did a Loo Review on Sydney's lockout laws and how they're affecting it, how they're affecting people who want to get pissed. And look, when I first saw the lockout laws, I didn't think they were that bad. And a whole bunch of Americans commented, apparently the lockout laws that we have are pretty standard in America or some states. So like, you can't get into a club after a certain time and you can't buy shots after a certain time. And they said, oh, it's just normal here. There's nothing wrong with them and they really work. And I think that really does make sense. When I first heard of the lockout laws, I was like, oh yeah, it kind of sounds like a really good idea. Until you find out that the only place they're not applied is where the fucking casinos are. Isn't that a fucking horrible thing? They make extremely hardline laws to curb alcohol-fueled violence. And to me, they make sense, right? They seem like they would work. And then they just apply them everywhere except the biggest casino they have, and then the building site of the biggest casino they will have, which will be finished being built in 2020. So I think that's just absolute bullshit. And it kind of just proves how easily corruptible anybody is. You don't think that, Australian politicians are really swayed by money because we're not really that big of a deal. Like in America, they're like the boss of the world. Of course there's lots of money and corruption because America's the boss. They want the boss on their side. But we're just Australia. But it kind of proves that even politicians from fucking Sydney can be swayed. I'm not saying anyone was bribed. Don't fucking sue me. But it's very, very obvious that something is fucking going on when you introduce laws to stop people from fucking dying at night and you apply them everywhere except to casinos. It'd be a bit of a coincidence if it was like one nightclub over here and then the casino, but it's just both of the casinos that they're not applied to, and no one's saying why. But when I uploaded the fucking Loo Review, okay, so I filmed it on a Wednesday, and then I filmed it on Thursday, and then I spent 5 hours editing it the same day, and then I uploaded it, and it finished uploading at 10:30 p.m. And I post on my page, I'm like, hey, Loo Review's uploading, estimated time of arrival, 10:30. And you cunts, well, not you, I'm assuming that if you're listening to this, you're not the person who wrote these things. You're not the type of person. Let me just get it up. Give me a second, okay? Really pissed me off, right? I spent, just for context, I spent 5 hours writing and researching it, 5 hours, 3 hours filming it, and then 5 hours editing it. And then I'm like, I'm finally done. I'm finally finished. I start uploading it. And then, here we go. What happened? Someone goes, so I'm like 10:30 p.m. I'm like, so it's 1:30 a.m. where I live. What, Lewis, why do you upload so late? Another person said. And then another one said, 10:30? Why 10:30? Okay? Let me just say, okay? It's fucking free! I can upload it whenever the fuck I want. It's free entertainment that I create. It can be, watch it tomorrow, you cunts. It's fucking free. I spend a million years fucking making something and a couple of cunts complain about when it's up. It's the internet. It's not TV. You're not going to miss it. Just watch it tomorrow if it's up too late. Fuck. Really annoyed me. I don't know why. I just was not a fan of that's too late for me. You have to upload when it's convenient to me, as the universe revolves around me. And then, you know what I thought about? I was like, okay, well, no, it was a Wednesday night that I put it up. I was like, well, I said I was going to put it up on Wednesday, but maybe why don't I just postpone it and then put it up on 7:30 prime time tomorrow on Thursday? But every time I do that, you can't still complain, so I don't know what to do. Fucking internet. No one's ever happy on the internet. That's the thing that I'm saying. No one's ever happy, right? But, I appreciate people watching them, as long as it's not too fucking late. Hey, this is pretty exciting though, guys. This is a thing that I'm very excited about. If you live in Melbourne, keep an eye out because there's going to be some fucking posters all around the city for my show. I put a little bit of money into actual print advertising, which is cool. So there's gonna be some A0 posters out in the city there with like the art that Matteo Mazzella, my graphic designer, has done. So keep an eye out for them. They're fucking brilliant. I'm very, very happy with how that poster came out, and they're gonna be around the city, which is sick. So I think they start putting them up like on Monday. They said they would put them up 3 weeks before my show, which is, oh fuck, that's now. Man, it's getting pretty close to my show. The comedy festival is starting as well. I think the comedy festival starts next week, I think, or 2 weeks from now. Whenever it starts, go and see. Even if you don't see my show, go to the comedy festival and see as many shows as you can. I wholeheartedly believe it is the best thing about Melbourne. It's my favorite thing about fucking living in Australia was a comedy festival. Even before I was in it, even before I was doing comedy, I just fucking loved it. Go and see a show, whoever you see, whether it's me or Khaled Kalafala. His run starts before my run. Go and see him. He's in the town hall doing a show, so go and see him. I approve of him. There's so many fucking shows out there. Even go to people you never heard of too, because they need they need help. You know, there's like over 500 shows, and not all of them are celebrities. So go and see some people who aren't known. And also, definitely come and see my show. That would be fucking sick. And keep an eye out for my posters. Please, please don't rip them down and take them home. I didn't put that many of them up. You know, it's expensive to do. Please don't do it. Take a photo with it. Well, actually, after my shows go from April 5 to April 17. So when it hits like April 16, April 17, then you can start taking them down and taking them home. But not before then, please. Because, you know, I want to wait till April 17 and then take one down. Plaster it on someone's car or something. I read, oh man, this is really interesting. I read in the news that in Sweden, they're talking about giving men the option to have a legal abortion of children. And what that means is they're not force a woman to have an abortion. They mean give a man the option to abort all of his legal rights to a child. So if a couple or, you know, two strangers get pregnant, they have a one-night stand and the girl gets pregnant, okay? The man can remove all of his rights. So and this is a decision he can make entirely on his own. This is being decided in court whether or not they're going to allow it at the moment. Okay, so the man could sign a form, or I don't know, however they would do it, and he could remove his right, or he would not have to pay child support. He would not have to see the child. He, in the eyes of the law, is not the child's father. Okay, but however, he also will remove all of the privileges as well. So by that I mean he would not have visitation rights. He would not be able to see the kid. He would not be able to make decisions for the child or anything like that. So essentially, in the eyes of the law, he's just some guy who's not related to the child at all. And I think that is a fucking brilliant idea. I think that is an amazing idea, and finally is bringing men up to be where women are. Because if a woman gets pregnant, she can make the decision on her own to abort the child and not have it, whether or not the man wants to have a child. Which I think that's great. I think that the woman should be able to do that, but I think that a man should also have the same rights. Because right now, let's say you have a one-night stand with someone, the girl tells you she was on the pill, and she was lying, and you have sex with her anyway, which you shouldn't do. Always wear a condom, guys. But anyway, she lies, she gets pregnant. Next thing, you're essentially this crazy lying woman's hostage, and you have to pay child support. This child is your son for the next 18 years, even though she fucking lied. You want nothing to do with the kid. You might, you know, want to travel for the rest of your life, but you can't because you've got this fucking ball and chain that she's tricked you into being attached to. This would remove this problem. And there's a whole, I don't know why it's controversial. I don't understand why it's controversial. You got all these feminists going, oh, well, that means that men will just have sex with anyone. No, it won't. Not at all. the main argument that these against this law is, oh well, if a man could just abort a child, abort the legal rights to a child, then where does that leave the woman? Well, here's the thing. This is the disclaimer of the law. The man has to abort his parental obligations. Hang on, how do I say this? He has to, if he's going to abort his legal rights to the child, he has to do that before the woman, no, he has to do it by, I don't know, I'm stupid, man. I haven't researched this at all. I just, literally, guys, I read a fucking headline, then I read the first paragraph, and then I got a little bit interested, and then I read some Facebook comments, and this is the extent of my knowledge, so fuck you all. I'm talking about it. So, the man can abort his rights, but he has to do that by 18 weeks. So from when the woman is pregnant, he has 18 weeks to decide whether he's going to abort. And that's so if he does choose to abort if the woman chooses not to have an abortion, the man can then make a choice whether he would like to have his legal abortion from the child and not be involved in the child's life. And then the woman still has the option to have a physical abortion if she knows 100% for sure that she will have zero support from this man financially and he won't be in her life, if you understand what I mean. So, yeah, it brings men and women up to the same level of rights as each other. And there is one argument against it that I think is the only one that kind of makes sense, which is it's going to put all of the burden that would have been on the man. So before, if a man did not want to be involved in the child's life, he still had to pay child support, and then the woman could get by. However, if this legal abortion thing is passed, the responsibility that used to be on the man will be moved and be put onto the government. So the government will have to, pay for the child care and all that kind of shit, and help this single mother raise her child without the father, because there will be no support or anything like that. But the point against that, most of these fucking people are American, so they've got terrible fucking healthcare. The point against this is Sweden has really, really good childcare and healthcare services that everybody pays for with their tax. Like, they get taxed higher and all their medical shit is all covered. So Sweden will probably be okay, even if all of the burden from the fathers was placed onto the government. So I think that this is a fucking brilliant initiative, because it gives men the choice whether or not to be a father, and it gives children, it'll probably give the children a better life. Let's say there's a deadbeat dad out there who's not paying child support, he doesn't want to see his kid, and then they're in a fucking court battle about it. That kid has to deal with that shit. However, if the mother if the father, before all this shit happened, signed away his parental rights, the mother could then go, okay, well, I know for sure that the father will not be involved with his life, and I won't have any extra money from him, and I can't do any of this shit, but that's okay, because I want to have the kid, and I'll figure it out. And then there you go. There you go. She's just a single mum doing what she wants. So I think that's a really, really fucking great idea, and I fully support it. Because, yeah, I think that's a massive, scary thing that a lot of guys keep in mind of is having a child. That's the worst STD you can get. That's a fucking STD that hangs around for 18 years. AIDS doesn't take your money. AIDS doesn't send you to court. You know what I mean? Herpes doesn't want you to take it for a drive on Sundays and play catch with it. You don't play catch with your herpes. You got to look after your kid. So I think it's a really good thing. I think it's a fucking awesome initiative. Speaking of child support, if you would like to support a child that you like, support me on Patreon. Everything that I do here is funded through Patreon and everybody who comes to my shows. So if you want to keep this podcast free, if you want to keep the videos that I make free, because I obviously want to do that, and if you want to help them become better in quality, I can get better equipment. If I want to have another guest once a month, I'm gonna need another microphone. I'm going to have to figure all of that shit out. So if you want to help me create better stuff for you more consistently, please do support me and everything that I do on Patreon. Jump on patreon.com, search Lewis Spears. It's a monthly thing. It's like Kickstarter, but it's monthly, and there's rewards as well. Like if you donate $6 a month, which is just the price of a coffee. Like, I hate when people say that. When they go like, oh, it's only $5 a month, the average price of your coffee. Who the fuck pays $5 for a coffee? That's a really, really expensive coffee. Go to 7-Eleven. If you're spending $5 on a coffee, you're getting like a bucket-sized one. Go to 7-Eleven, pay $3, get a big one, cunt. Anyway, there's a... I'm talking about Patreon. So if you want to support me on Patreon, there is there's some of the rewards. So if you donate $6 a month to Lou Review and everything that I put out, really, it's not just one thing. It goes towards funding everything. If you donate $6 a month, there's like a Facebook group, and we've got a group chat. I jump in there every single day. It's like it's a really fun group, actually. There's probably quite a few people who are in the group listening to it now. Shout out to the Pathetic Loser Patreon posse on Facebook. And we talk about, reviews, and I post content that I couldn't post on my Facebook page, like all of the Facebook arguments that I used to love posting, but I can't because it gets you banned. I just put them in there. And I also talk about upcoming reviews and reveal, the Lou reviews that are coming out earlier. And also, if you donate on Patreon, no matter what level you support me at, you get an early Lou review before everybody else. So you'll notice a lot of the time, sometimes I'll have like comments an hour before you saw it. And you're like, how does this happen? Are these people traveling time? No, they're supporting me on Patreon, which is better than traveling time. So, yeah, if you want to help support the show, support me on Patreon. Buy a t-shirt or a poster, or come and see a show. I am touring Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, Adelaide, all on sale. louspears.com/gigs. Come and see me live. They tried to cancel me last time is the name of my show. It's my best work so far. You'll fucking love it. I fucking love it, and I cannot wait. It starts in 3 weeks. Melbourne is in April, and then the rest of the country is in May. louspears.com/gigs for the dates, because I cannot remember. Now, let's get on to the worst part of the podcast. It's Miscellaneous bit at the end. I fucking hate this. Please turn it off, guys. Don't listen to this. Don't do this to yourself, okay? I think we need to have a chat. All right? I think we need to have a chat about this whole, listening to the Miscellaneous bit at the end, guys. Well, not guys, just you. The one, everybody else has turned it off now, but it's just you. Why are you still listening? Why are you still listening to Miscellaneous bit at the end? It's not good for you, okay? Just, I'm worried about you. You sit there on the train or alone in your room, and you put the headphones on and you listen to Miscellaneous bit at the end, and you're hurting yourself. It's self-harm. What you're doing to your body, your mind, it's not good for you, okay? Every time I do Miscellaneous bit at the end, I seriously consider ending it. Like, I weigh it up. I think about all the ways that I could do it, how easy it would be, go down to a pharmacy, get some sleeping pills. You don't even need a prescription to get sleeping pills, okay? You could go right now, all right, and go to a pharmacy and buy like 3 packets of sleeping pills and take them all. Don't take any chances with that. You don't want to take half a packet, right, and then wake up brain dead. You know what I mean? Like, you can't move the left side of your body. That's no way to live. Okay? Who's calling me? Sorry about that. I just had to, someone was just calling me. Where was I? Yeah, take the whole packet. Don't take half. If you're gonna swallow sleeping pills, if you're gonna end it all because of Miscellaneous bit at the end, you don't want to come back half a shadow of what you used to be. Okay? So, look, I know this conversation started out as me being worried because you're self-harming, and then quickly turned into a how-to guide on how to properly kill yourself. But I think we've learned a lot from this conversation, and it's time for Miscellaneous bit at the fucking end. Right, let's get into this shit, okay? Let's get into this. So, first question. is from Trevor, which is not his real name. If you would like to ask me a question and contribute to the national tragedy that is Miscellaneous Bit at the End, you can email me at contact@louspears.com. That is contact@louspears.com. Huh? What? Contact@louspears.com. No, put down those sleeping pills and email me at contact@louspears.com if you want to ask me a question. Life advice, whatever you want, okay? Sorry, that idiot who doesn't listen when I tell him what the email is. It's always in my room. Okay, this is from Trevor, not his real name. Hi, Lewis. I have a problem. There is a girl at my school who is really nice and incredibly beautiful. So she's a bit of a looker, huh? You want to get in between those legs, do you, Trev? She's the first hot girl I've ever met who I can have a conversation with without stuttering. Trevor's got a bit of the old hot girl stutter. I know I have no chance with her. Well, of course you don't if you're saying shit like that. Girls can smell that. When you think you're not worthy, they know. They can smell it, man. Okay? What are you doing? All right. But ever since we've been talking more, I've thought about breaking her up with her boyfriend and sabotaging their relationship. Trevor's a psychopath. Okay. And I don't want to be that sort of guy. Okay, all right, he doesn't want to be that. Okay. I just want to be her friend, but I find my lust wanting more. Is there any advice you could give me on how to snap out of it? Well, you could kill her and bury her in your garden. That's an option, Trev. I don't know, man. Don't be a dick. Don't fucking ruin her relationship. There's plenty of girls out there, man. Because all you're gonna, if she's gonna find out, let's say you ruin their relationship. So how do you even think you're gonna do that, man? You can't ruin her relationship unless she consensually cheats on her boyfriend with you. Do you know what I mean? Like even if you forced her to have sex with you, and if he's a really good guy, he might stay with her and while you go to jail, right? Even if he leaves her, you still go to jail, and she's probably not going to, she's probably not going to be your boyfriend if you rape her. I don't know, bro. Don't be a dick. You can't break them up. Find another girl. There's plenty of other girls out there, man. Find another girl. Do something else with your life, like not thinking about sabotaging some. They might even be really happy, Trev. Come on, man. Don't be a dick. Find somebody else. Go out there. Join a chess club or something lame like that. You'll find a nice nerdy girl who wears glasses for you. Or not even, just go out there and see more shit, do more things. It's more important than girls. Play some video games, bro. Or, I don't know, play a sport. Do something else apart from talking to a girl and fantasizing about ruining her life. Get out there, man. There's plenty of girls out there. You don't need this girl. Fuck her. She's probably horrible in bed anyway. I bet you know what? She's probably got a huge clit. Just think that, man. Just think of the bullet you dodged. Just think, man, this girl, and this is a really beautiful girl on the outside. I really enjoy talking to her, but there is a possibility, there's a possibility that she could have a huge clit. And that goes for girls. If you're lusting after a guy and he's in a relationship and you want to break them up, just think to yourself, this guy could have a really weird knob, like a rough knob with the growth on it. This guy could have a knob with a growth on it, like a growth that you couldn't ignore. Something that's not too big, so he doesn't really want to get it removed because it doesn't really get in the way, but big enough for you to know that it's there. And every time, you guys get in between the sheets and start doing the grown up, you can kind of feel it. And it's a little bit annoying, and it's not the size of it that's annoying. You can feel it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel good, but you can just feel it. And because you can feel it, it just reminds you that it's there and what it looks like. And you just can't lose yourself in the moment because you keep thinking about this weird ass growth on your boyfriend's cock. So that's what I'm saying, man. Just get over it. Just think about, she might have a weird clit, ladies. He might have a growth on his knob. And go play some sport. Go do something else. Don't worry about this girl, man. She's with somebody else. Don't chase Don't chase. If you really think you have no chance with her, don't chase her. Leave her alone. Find somebody else. There's plenty of people out there. Next question. Okay, so this one is really weird. So I'm gonna make this person anonymous because she gave me her real name and I looked her up and she's very easy to find. So I'm gonna make her anonymous. I'm gonna call her Michelle. All right. So this is not her real name, Michelle. Hey Lewis, I just want to tell you how awesome of a person you are. Thanks, Michelle. I love how you connect with your fans and talk to them. Thanks, Michelle. Other people like you don't talk with their fans, but you do, and that makes me happy. Pleasure to be of service. So, hey, and then she used a real name, but I'm going to call her Michelle. So, hey, I'm Michelle. I'm in high school, and I have this teacher that I'm oddly attracted to. He's in his 20s, and he kind of looks like Troy from High School Musical. Michelle's 12, everyone. Michelle is 12 years old. She likes High School Musical. She must be 12. Actually, no. How long did that come out? How long did the High School Musical come out? Fuck. No, she would be at least 16 or 17. Okay, so let's assume that Michelle is like... I stalked her. She looks 17. 16 or 17. So she's not an adult, and she's in high school, okay? She's a high school fucking student. Basically, I'm into him, and I think he's into me. Everyone in my class always talks, and he yells at them, but he never yells at me when I talk. Which means he wants to slip a finger in. Also, we were making a project out of duct tape, and he told me he got One Direction just for me because he knew I liked them. What does that mean? We were making a project out of duct tape, and he told me he got One Direction just for... So he was playing the music, or he duct taped One Direction and gave them to you? Okay, anyway. He also holds me behind class just to talk about nothing, and he kind of flirts with me. This teacher's gonna get fired! I also had multiple dreams about him, and I think it's a sign. He probably has no feel. Okay, Michelle's insane, okay? She's having dreams about this guy. Okay, he probably has no feelings for me whatsoever, but I'm wildly into him. So how can I get my teacher to like me so I could hook up with him on his desk? Thanks. Lots of love, Michelle. Okay, Michelle, stop. You are going to ruin this guy's life. Do you know how hard it is for a fucking teacher, for a male teacher in high school? I saw that all of the teachers when I was in high school, the ones that were under 25, even if they weren't good looking, all of the girls just wanted to fuck them, and they know. Okay, I guarantee you, Michelle, he knows what you feel, and he is not thinking. He's not being nice to you because he wants to fuck you. He's being nice because he doesn't want to get hit with a fucking rape charge and lose his teacher's license. You know, even if it's 100% consensual, he will lose his job and will never be able to be a teacher ever again if he has sex with you, Michelle. It's time to stop. You're gonna ruin his life. Teaching is probably his dream, okay? When he was 12, he wasn't dreaming about having sex with 17-year-old students. He was dreaming about making a difference and teaching the youth of today. I'm sorry, Michelle. You need to stop. It's not good. It's not good. You shouldn't do it. Wait till you're out of school, okay? I've heard stories of students leaving school and hooking up with teachers. Okay, you look like you've only got a year or two left. Just give it a year or two, okay? Just don't worry. They're on Facebook. They're humans, okay? I have one of my old primary school teachers that I really liked on Facebook. I haven't tried to fuck him, but it was possible. I got in contact with him, and I said, thanks for being a good teacher. Okay, just wait a couple of years, you know? Hit him up on Facebook, or whatever the social media of the future is, right? Asshole Network. Hit him up on Asshole Network, add him on Friends, shoot him a message and say, hey, we should catch up for old time's sakes. And then show up in your school uniform, and then just bend over the restaurant desk and be like, you know, this is what I'm into. What about you? Okay, Michelle, you're gonna ruin this guy's life. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt your feelings. You look like you're not an ugly girl. Okay, you're 17, so I'm not gonna just go too far into that. But you're not an ugly girl, right? Okay. So don't. I'm sure he knows. Just don't. Okay, I'm speaking on behalf of all men everywhere who are in these situations, just don't. It's too big of a temptation. You're going to ruin his life. All right? Take that knowledge, Michelle, and take it to heart, because you're going to fuck his life. You're going to fuck his life up. All right? Wanna fuck the teacher, man? That's horrible. You're gonna ruin his life. All right, I'm gonna finish this question. All right, guys, thank you. I'm gonna finish the whole podcast. Actually, thank you very much for listening. I hope you got through Miscellaneous bit at the end without killing yourselves. Thank you for listening. Thank you for rating the podcast on iTunes. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. And I look forward to seeing you at my tour, which starts in April and May. If you don't live in Australia, you're probably sick of me talking about it. If you do live in Australia, buy a ticket so it sells out and I'll shut the fuck up about it. See you there, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a shit one.